Oh, hello. I am Jenna, and this is Jen and Tonic. If you are a cocktail drinking nerd like me, hit that subscribe button and join me for a drink. Today I am making the Bobby Burns, and I am sharing that cocktail with you in honor of Burns Night. And Burns Night takes place every year on this day, January 25th. This is a holiday that is predominantly celebrated in Scotland in honor of Robert Burns, aka Robbie Burns, aka Bobby Burns, who is the unofficial poet of Scotland. And it is celebrated on this day because it is his birthday. If you're not familiar with Robert Burns, he is one of the most celebrated poets in Scotland because he kept the culture of Scotland alive in a time when it was very unpopular to do so. He was alive at the end of the 1700s, and at this time the Scottish had lost the last rebellion, the Jacobite Rising, and a lot of the Scottish were adapting British culture. He went around and collected a lot of these Scottish ballads and songs and recorded them on paper. He also wrote hundreds of poems and letters. And if you've ever sung Auld Lang Syne on New Year's, you have sang one of his songs. From what I understand, in Scotland on this day, it's commonplace to have a traditional meal, recite poetry, and dance to bagpipes. And if any of you are in Scotland or from Scotland, let me know if that's true. While I am here to celebrate Burns Night and the life of Robert Burns, I would be remiss if I didn't share that there's evidence that this drink was originally named after a cigar maker, not the poet. The reason for this is that the old Waldorf Astoria, which is where the Empire State Building stands now, used to have a cigar shop next to it called the Robert Burns, and the cigar makers used to come over to the old bar and order a drink similar to this. Either way, we're here to honor the man himself, so let's get to making the drink. And the recipe that I'm using is from the 3 Ingredients Cocktail book. I know I reference this all the time, but it's an excellent book. It's very easy to follow. So I'll link this for you in the description below if you haven't gotten it already. So this is kind of a play on a Manhattan. It's going to be 2-to-1 ratio of the whiskey to vermouth, and where I would normally use a rye whiskey or a bourbon to make a Manhattan, I'm using a blended Scotch whiskey, and I've chosen to use the Monkey Shoulder. This is a great blended Scotch. I found out that the reason that they named it Monkey Shoulder is because of the really heavy shovels that they used to have to use in the malting process. I guess it gave the malters this kind of slouchy arm that looked like a monkey shoulder. So that's where the name came from. For my vermouth, I'm using Cochi vermouth, which is a sweet vermouth out of Italy, and then I'm using a little bit of Benedictine, ½ ounce here, which is an herbal liqueur. This is a very simple drink to make at home. I'm gonna start with 2 ounces of the stuff. 2 ounces of the stock. This is a very easy drink to make at home. I'm gonna start out with 2 ounces of the Scotch whiskey, followed by 3/4 ounce of the sweet vermouth, a ½ ounce of Benedictine. This is a spirit-forward drink, so I will be stirring it. Your goal is just to dilute it slightly and chill down your drink. And then I've seen this served both ways. I've seen it served up, and I've also seen it served in a rocks glass with a nice piece of ice. I love using my coupe glass. If I can get away with it, I'll put most every drink in there. So that's what I'm using today. And the final step is the garnish. Lemon peel. And I've been trying to clean up my garnishes a little bit. So after I peel it, I'm just gonna cut a little bit off the sides. And then the most important thing with this is to express that oil over top of your drink You want to always do the skin side down because that's where the oils are. And then if you want to take it, put a little slit in it so that it sits on the side of your drink, just to make it extra fancy. Oh. Cheers. So this is really tasty, guys. I love the lemon notes that I'm getting right off the top of it from my lemon peel. Also, you pick up that Benedictine right away with the herbal liqueur. I have to say, it is balanced with the Scotch, the vermouth, and the Benedictine, but I do enjoy a little bit drier of a drink. So if you're like me, I think I would actually do a 1/4 ounce of the Benedictine instead of a 1/2 ounce of Benedictine. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button and throw a comment down below. I am Jenna, and this is Gin and Tonic. Cheers to you, Bobby Burns.